For the first concept, I'm going to go over the picture first before I get to the actual like words of it all. Here you have a tangent line, and then you have a chord that meets up with that tangent line. And then we're looking at this arc here compared to this angle. So if this arc, my cheat sheet of my, where is it? There it is. Okay, so let's say that this arc measure is, oh my gosh, I just had it. This arc measure is 160 degrees, then this angle would be half of it, so it would be 80 degrees. So whatever this arc is, it's double the measure of that angle, or the angle's half of the measure of that arc. Then on this side, the same thing happens. So over here, if this arc measure is 200, then this angle would be half of it, which is 100. Which makes sense. These two should form a linear pair, right? And then all the way around the circle should add up to 360. So if this is 160, then this should be 200. Okay, in terms of words, if a tangent and a chord intersect at a point on a circle, then the measure of each angle formed is 1/2 the measure of the intersected arc. Next concept right here, this one right here. For this one, it's talking about this arc, and then this angle. So when you have intersecting lines, these arc measures, if you find the average of these two, you get this angle measure. So for example, if this was 20 degrees and this was 40 degrees, to find the measure of angle 1, you would just find the average of those two numbers, or the middle, and it would be 30 degrees. So you could do 20 plus 40 divided by 2 to get 30 degrees. And then another thing that they sometimes ask for is like angle 2. Well, these two are supplementary, so once you have this, you can just do 180 minus 30 to get the other angle, which would be 150 in this case. So in words, it would be if two chords intersect inside a circle, then the measure of each angle is 1/2 the total of the measures of the arcs intercepted by the angle and its vertical angle. Or you could say sum. Okay. And the next one, I think I'm going to do the words too, or first. If a tangent and a secant, two tangents or two secants intersect outside a circle, the measure of the angle formed is 1/2 the difference of the measures of the intersected arcs. And I'll show you what that means in a second. Okay, so for these examples right here, this is the equation. We're going to make it seem a little bit simpler than that. Okay, so we're going to call this the big arc, and this is the small arc. So we're going to do big arc minus small arc divided by 2 equals the measure of the angle, in this case, measure of angle 1. So for example, if this was 100 degrees and this was 40 degrees, you do 100 minus 40 divided by 2, and you get the answer for the angle measure. So on all of these, so one is a tangent and a secant. These are two tangents, and then these are two secants. But the same process exists. Big arc minus small arc divided by 2 equals the angle. So in this case, if we had like 200 and then 160, And remember, these all the way around a circle has to equal 360, so that makes sense. So 200 minus 160 divided by 2 would equal your angle measure, equals measure of angle 2. For this one, again, big arc minus small arc. So let's say we had 80 degrees and 50 degrees. 80 minus 50 divided by 2 will give you measure of angle 3. Now we're going to practice it. We're going to go to 10.5. And it's only one page again, which is nice. We're not going to even do every problem. Okay, so starting with the first set of numbers, so the whole concept, you have a circle, you have a tangent, and a chord of some kind that intersects that line, and then let's say this is 160 degrees, then this angle would be half of that, which would be 80 degrees. Or if this arc is 200 degrees, then this angle would be half of that, which is 100 degrees. So as we look at these problems, that's what we're doing. So here, it wants to know the measure of arc AB right here. It shows the angle is 65, so to find that arc, you just do 65 times 2, which is 130 degrees. Then number 2, measure of arc DEF right here. Just 117 times 2 would give you that arc. Okay, and then measure of angle 1 here. So this arc corresponds with that angle right here. It's calling me. Okay. 260 divided by 2 would give you that angle. 130 degrees. Or, sorry, number 4, it says measure of angle 3. This arc corresponds to this angle. So we have to do, to find this arc, we have to do 360 minus 140. And that would be 220 degrees, so that's the arc. And then to find that angle, we have to do 220 divided by 2. So 310 degrees. Okay, so the next one is where you have the intersecting lines in a circle, and then the average of these two arcs is this angle right here. So like if this is 40 degrees and this is 60 degrees, this is the middle or the average, which is 50 degrees. So for number 5, that's what it's looking for. We're going to find the average of these two arcs to get x. So we're just going to add 85 plus 145, divide that by 2 to get the average, and it comes out to 115 degrees. We're going to skip 6 because, I don't know, when you're first learning something, I don't want to make it too hard, and that one's like complicated. Okay, then number 7 is the other thing where we did big arc minus small arc divided by 2 is the angle. So remember, big arc minus small arc divided by 2 equals measure of the angle. So in this case, 114 minus x divided by 2 equals 24. And then to solve for x, start by multiplying both sides by 2. Minus x equals 48. What's up? You good? Yeah, x equals 66. You could always plug it back in and check it. So 114 minus 66 divided by 2 should equal 24. Because it's a different type of problem. So this has intersecting lines inside. So we just added these two up, divide by 2 to find that. And then this one is the one where it's big arc minus small arc, divided by 2. So it was, we divided by 2, like this. But then, yeah, to get rid of that anyways. I don't know. Okay, and then we're going to go over to number 10. And again, it's big arc minus the small arc divided by 2 equals that angle. The big arc, they didn't give us that measure. However, because we're just dealing with a circle, we can find it by doing 360 minus 125. And that equals 235. So this is 235. Then big arc minus small arc divided by 2 equals the angle 6x minus 11. And this solves to 55. Then 11 is a, no, not yet. 11's a weird one. They put a concept that you learned on Friday. So with Friday, when you had an inscribed angle all the way across, this arc was double that angle. So 73 times 2 would be 146, and that's this arc, 146. And then to find this arc, 360 minus 146, which is 214. And now you have big arc, small arc, and you can solve for the angles. So big arc minus the small arc divided by 2 equals x. Plug it in a calculator and it comes out to x equals 34. Okay, so to do, you're going to grab a laptop to do homework 10-5 on Schoology. And then start Alex if you have time. Start weekly Alex. Okay, and that's all. So go ahead and get a laptop, get started. I'll enable the homework.